I'm Vidhi Mistry, and I'm the Executive Director of Partner Relations and Growth at Oxford International Education Services. And my work sits at the intersection of global strategy, market expansion, advisory, and of course, student empowerment. At my core, I'm deeply committed to helping young people find direction and give them the confidence so that they can fly high and shine in life. So I think that's the purpose that guides everything that I do.
Hi, I welcome you to the Crazy Careers podcast. Thank you so much for joining us in today.
Thank you so much.
So, before we get into the actual conversation, would you mind letting us know a bit about yourself, your journey so far, and also the work that you do?
Of course. So I'm Vidhi Mistry, and I'm the Executive Director of Partner Relations and Growth at Oxford International Education Services. And my work sits at the intersection of global strategy, market expansion, advisory, and of course, student empowerment. Over the years, I've had the privilege of leading large-scale international initiatives and wear multiple hats. But if I leave my titles aside, because I have a lot of titles currently, at my core, I'm deeply committed to helping young people find direction and give them the confidence so that they can fly high and shine in life. So I think that's the purpose that guides everything that I do. So that's about me.
Great. So, I think that perfectly aligns with our motto. The Crazy Career is a student centric platform where we try to help students and early stage professionals as much as possible. So, one thing I would like to know from you, what is common mistake students make while planning to study abroad?
I think the one common mistake that students make while planning to study abroad is planning based on assumptions and not going based on verified information. I feel that they would blindly believe what their friends would say or the Instagram reel shows or whatever the trend is. And I feel that's risky and scary because it's your life. I mean, let's not underestimate the importance of self research. I feel very sad, and I keep telling students that do your own research, understand if the country or the university aligns with your personality, your financial capacity, your academic requirements, and a lot of other personal factors, and do not just follow the trend. And it's very sad because last year itself, 50% of the global visa refusals were based on incomplete documentation and inaccurate information. And this is something we could have easily avoided if students would have done their right research and provided the right information. And then on the other hand, there are students who do their research. But again, the research is just limited till admissions and nothing after that. So you must do the research of the culture of that particular country, right? What the roots are there in that country. Will it align with you? How life works? Get in touch with students, experts on campus, and then understand if everything is as per your career goals. So self-research is something is missing amongst today's kids.
Right. So since you have mentioned about self-research, I would like to know how can students choose the right country or university for them? Are there any step-by-step method that they can follow?
So I feel choosing the right country and right university is deeply personal. You cannot tell someone that, okay, the UK is trending, so everyone should apply to the UK. You have to understand whether that particular country and university fits with your personality and if it aligns with you. And a lot of times when I say this, students come to me and say, but ma'am, I feel everything fits my personality. So how do I know where to go? I think the answer to that question is very simple. Take a piece of paper and pen and write down these three questions. First is the country aligned with my personality and who I am? Is the financials and the financial requirement realistic and supporting for me? And third, will it open the career doors that I'm dreaming of? Write it down and see if it ticks all the boxes. So I'll give you one example. I was talking to a student from Hyderabad last year, and she was committed that I want to go to the US because my friends are over there. But after having a discussion with her, we realized that her personality, her requirements, and overall her academics also align very well with the UK. And today, she's thriving and she's a manager in a very good company. I would not say that she's thriving because she went to the UK, but because she went to a country that fit her personality.
Yes.
Every student's personality is different and every student is cut from a different fabric. So let's understand what aligns with us. Long answer short, it should match your requirement.
So, what skills do universities look for today?
I think universities today are looking for agile, open-minded students and not just passive degree seekers. Of course, the universities are going to help the students with the future skills, and that's why the students are applying to study with them. But they can only help if the students are willing to absorb and grow. If you just block and you're just going for a degree, I think you will not absorb what is going on in the environment. And I've spoken to a lot of leadership across the UK, Australia, Europe, and India as well. And the message is common in different words. And there are three basic qualities that students must have is curiosity, adaptability, and collaborative mindset. Ask questions, be curious. Don't be shy and then sit in the background. If you don't get answers to your questions, how are you going to move to the next step? I think adaptability in today's world is very important because the world is changing at a very fast pace. And collaborative mindset, because even if you want to start your business or do a job, you need to learn how to work in teams and you need to know how to work with people. So I think these three basic qualities is what universities are looking for.
Right. Yes, we are living in an era, there are a lot of counselors, especially in study abroad space. So, how do students avoid unethical and misleading counselor, and how do they find like which counselor is right for them?
So, very simple. I'd never trust guarantees. Never trust guarantees and do not just go with whatever the counselor or whatever even the post is saying. Always go to the official website of the university or the government website. Always get everything verified. If you still have doubt, get in touch with the university directly. I mean, these days, universities have their country offices in, if a student is from India, there are a lot of regional offices in India. So you can get in touch with the India team as well and get more information, but always check authentic information.
Right. So, what is financial take that every student should plan for studying abroad? I mean, before even thinking of it, before even planning for it, what are some financial takes that they should consider?
So, financial planning is very important, and it's not just the tuition fees and not just the cost of living that is mentioned on the website. I think what is mentioned on the website is very baseline, but cost of living depends on your lifestyle, your food habits, the type of accommodation that you will choose, and how you want to live your day to day life. And you must also factor in any emergencies. And to be honest, the first few months abroad are always the most expensive. And there's a misconception that students have that, I'll do a part time job and I'll earn money. Part time job will help you, but it takes time for you to find a job. Second, it's very competitive. And third, even when you find the job, it will only cover your extra expenses and not your whole stay. So planning based on your tuition fees as a whole after deducting scholarships and the cost of living based on you is very important. So do this in advance. Understand your annual income and whoever your sponsor is. If you're going for an education loan, see what the rate of interest is and how many years you'll have to pay the interest. So all these factors must be considered before just saying yes to a country or a university.
Right. So since you are in study abroad space, so what are some global career trends that students should look for or prepare for now?
I keep talking about the skills for future every time. And I think very common skills that everyone talks about, even the Forbes has listed is critical thinking, emotional intelligence, artificial intelligence, data science, digital literacy. These are very common. In fact, the World Economic Forum has also mentioned that 44% of the skills that are currently there will be replaced in the next 5 years. But I would like to clarify one thing that AI will not replace students. But the students who know how to use AI will replace the students who do not. And this is something that the current student must understand and realize. And AI is something that everyone should start learning and upgrading themselves with. In terms of the global trends that you're talking about, these days is sustainable careers. Even on LinkedIn, green jobs are the fastest growing. Another trending one is borderless work. Now, big companies are hiring talent from across the globe. So agility and embracing change is very much required. So if you have digital literacy along with your human leadership element, you are good to go for the future.
Okay, so now connecting this question with our previous question. So what are some courses that are trending or people or students are actually opting for it in past like 1 year, 2 year? Can you give some example of the courses that are actually famous among students?
Sure. I think the dynamics have changed. And I mean, 5 years ago, when I used to see the type of courses that students used to choose were generic, like business management, MBA. But these days, students are showing interest for specialization courses, like in computer science or cybersecurity management. Even in fashion, there are so many courses available. Students want to apply for luxury brand management or fashion styling, web development. So I see that shift, which is very good because students are now understanding themselves better. And based on their requirements, they're opting for a special course. Even project management, I think project managers are required in all companies, irrespective of the field the company is in. So that is a trending course. Computer, web development, AI are, of course, trending these days. Digital marketing and strategy. So courses that are unique, but also has that management element added is where I see the students are showing interest these days.
Right. Now, our favorite section about Gen Z. So, I would like to ask you, what is that one challenge that you see young people or Gen Zs are facing in their career journey, and how do they navigate it?
I think we were discussing this when we started. I feel the biggest challenge that the young people face these days is having no clarity. And the Gen Zs are blessed because they have access to so much information. I would say they are the most informed generations in history. But they have so much information and no clarity. And I feel information with no direction is pure noise. So that is one of the drawbacks. But how to overcome this challenge is very simple. Just be curious and start small. Get in touch with mentors, explore ideas, explore interests, and automatically you will get clarity in life and you will know what you want to do. But if you sit back and procrastinate, then your progress would be hampered. In fact, my own mentor had told me that Vidhi, just don't think too much. Start. Once you start, the path will automatically appear in front of you. So I follow by that plan. I've grown personally with that mantra that my mentor gave me. So yeah.
Absolutely. So, all right, it was really an insightful conversation, and thank you so much for joining us.
No worries. Thank you so much. Some really good questions, and I hope that the students can take benefit from the information that we've provided. And I would say that students, don't think too much. This is your time to shine. So wish you all the best. And if there's anything that you need, we're here to support.